here's the part I've been looking forward to. Well, pretty much look forward to everything. But I'm going to now create a really dark mix, pretty darn dark. Maybe not as dark as it'll end up eventually, but close to black that I'm going to use for both the tree and this last hill to create this silhouette of this shape. And you'll see what I mean. And it's going to be fun. I'm sure I had a thought there, but can't remember what it was. So I'm going to start out with really some dark bluish violet, and then as I get towards the bottom, or maybe even beforehand, I'm not sure, I may so let me see, I am mixing peacock blue and quin rose. It's pretty thick. I do have some indigo over here that I think I will check out a touch of the indigo, just because I want to make sure it's clearly differentiated from that. Once again, I'll be doing plenty of layers. So let's see what happens here. It's gonna be a little bit interesting in that I'm gonna start with this tree shape and then try to come all the way down and do the big hill. You wouldn't have to do that, I suppose. It's going to end up so dark that even if you did the tree in one pass and the hill in another pass, it would probably be okay. But let's see what happens here. I do want to try to make sure that I get some good variety around this the silhouette of this tree. Did you see me right there? I changed how much it was tipped because I was seeing a lot of that paint pooling and thinking, perhaps if it spilled at this point, that would not be so good. But one of the things for helping to create depth is contrast of all sorts of things. Hopefully you can tell we're doing contrast of both color and value in a big way. This is kind of tricky. This might be a little bit more than you're comfortable with. You're certainly welcome, like I said, to just deal with the tree and then worry about the hillside. What I was starting to say is something I can't even really remember. Oh yeah, contrast. Contrast of detail is another important aspect to think about when you are trying to create depth and differentiate whether one thing is supposed to be important or not as important. It seems a little excessive with I'm intentionally not worrying too much about the perfection of that, because I do want to get it down to this darn hill here. Okay, yeah, that was officially a bit much to bite off for for a beginning watercolor class. So while that was fun for me, I have a sense that might have been, if you try that, that might get too unfun for you, but certainly welcome to give it a go. And so now I'm down in my more of just a good old beaded wash. It's going quick right now. Bring in, even though it's sort of a little late, it's still okay. Dropping in a little bit of the indigo. Ooh, look at what I'm going to do now. I was about to do something, but that would be confusing. So I'm not going to do it. But what I will do, like I think I have mentioned, is lift that up. And once again, it might seem like this is really dark, but in the grand scheme of things, we can still get quite a bit darker. So I will eventually do a decent amount of adjusting, just how dark each hill is, how blue it is. But what's good about this phase is that at least I have paint. Every place I know there's going to be paint. So I definitely have a good idea of now where I'm going to want to get darker and where I'm going to want to maybe get lighter even, or stay exactly what it is. But if you start sort of adjusting darks and lights before you really kind of have everything covered, I mean, paint where you know there's going to be some paint. It's hard to really gauge how dark one thing is until you know how light the other thing is, or how dark that other thing is, or etc., etc. So I'm going to let that dry. It's probably getting kind of dark, huh? Hopefully you can still see it okay. But okay, that's it for now.